personality. So, now, as I said, Joe, my brother, he's my oldest brother, my older brother, a year and a half older, and he graduated with degrees in German and French, but he spent most of his career working with computers at Boeing in Seattle, Washington. He and his wife, Ellen, have retired to Kauai, Hawaii, and we've been over there once, to Kauai. And when I was a little girl, I used to listen to Joe practice piano. He'd get up, can you believe this, guys? He'd get up like at 6 in the morning and practice before school. So, you know, I never did that. So he, but he didn't, his piano, you know, wasn't his vocation or his career, but he's kind of kept up on it over the years, and we always enjoyed so much when he comes to listen to him. And he's just started working on things a little bit more. So you've all met my brother, a lot of you have met my brother Philip when he came to church to play guitar, but that opportunity didn't work out for my brother's Joe, so I wanted to get some people together and see if you'd enjoy listening to his piano. Okay, he has one other talent, and that is he's a pretty mean pool player, so if anybody wants to stay after and play pool, all right, Tony, I have a hand there. Well, he would love to challenge you to that. Of course, that was kind of a bad place in the small town we grew up, you know, you don't go to the pool hall. Let's see, do I have anything else here? Then when we are all finished, we're going to just have a little snack. If you want to sit down, you know, can put some chairs around the table or tables or whatever. It's just a very light snack, like I said twice here. Light. But we love you guys and just wanted to have a few moments. And of course, I love my brother. Oh, here's my last story. Give me a microphone and there's no stopping me. Marjorie's on the third row here. I don't know, probably most everyone knows Marjorie. But she used to be in our home group, and she told us one time that she and her family, her brother, her siblings, started getting together periodically, and they would, what they've done is they've gone on cruises together, small cruises. Is that right, Marjorie?
Right.
So,
Without the spouse.
Oh, without the spouses, exactly. And drive the spouses crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Exactly. Hey, talk about old times. So, I mentioned that to my brother Joe and how I'd like to see him a little more often, and so he was kind enough, he was in the States, not the States, on the mainland is what they say when you're from Hawaii. He was on the mainland, and so he just said he was going to come and stop by a few days, so this is my brother Joe Weagle.
Okay, well, let's see.
There's a mic there for you, Joe.
Gotta get it closer because my vision is not quite what it used to be, but I'm sure none of you can identify it. I'm going to make a few comments about what you're going to experience. I'm not a professional pianist, no Yu Jia Wang, no Lang Lang. As Tina said, I just played growing up, although I have no recollection of getting up at 6 a.m. to play. Take your word for it. But since then, I just pretty much kept it up, and I really only play for myself. This is the very first time, 3 months before I turned 70, that I will be performing for strangers. So, for what it's worth, that's what it is. My playing style, it's always been just practicing. And we had some relatives coming from New York a few months ago, so I decided to get a couple numbers ready to play for them. And then after that, Tina invited me to play here, so I've been working my best to try to get things ready, but let me explain what's going to happen. I'm going to be playing sections of 6 pieces by Schubert and Beethoven, and the final piece will be a Schubert impromptu that is one of my favorites. And I suspect that probably many of you have grandchildren that can play these things probably better than I can. But I will do my best. My playing is not going to be concert perfect. I'm going to stop, I'm going to start, I'm going to correct myself. And if you can overlook those things, then you'll be able to enjoy the concert. Let me draw a contrast between someone who stands up here with a guitar and sings and what I'm going to do. When someone stands up here with a guitar and sings, you have a face and a voice to focus on. It's quite a pleasant experience. When you go to a piano concert, a professional piano concert someplace, here in Lon, for instance, playing in LA, you don't have that. You only see the figure down there on the piano, and it's up to you to invest all the energy it takes to enjoy. Well, you're not going to have to do that this evening, because I'm going to talk about each piece before I play it. And I'm going to attempt to talk during the play, which I guess I'll just shout out what I have to say if I can. It's hard to talk when you're playing, because playing takes all of your focus. But I will describe what it is I enjoy about each piece, play a little bit to help you get into the spirit of the music, and we'll take it from there. So as long as you're able to overlook the imperfections you're going to hear, let's all focus on the goodness in these various pieces. So, you can hear me very well or not?
Yeah.
That's what we like. So I'm going to play one of the impromptus from Schubert's Opus 90. This particular piece is easy to like. I'm going to play it at a slower tempo than you would hear in a concert, and just part of it, of course, but it has lovely harmonies. It's in 6 flats, except when he adds an extra flat to make 7 flats. It's a good thing there aren't more flats in the piano. So here we go, one of Schubert's impromptus from Opus 90. This second impromptu is also from Schubert's Opus 90. This one I haven't got quite up to what I would like, but it's so pretty. It's one of my wife's favorite pieces, and I think my sister has come to enjoy it as well. It has 3 sections. It has the opening section, and then it has a little bit of an intermission, and then the closing section. I'm going to play from near the end of the intermission to the closing section. And I won't say much about the melody. I'm sure many of you have heard this. I'll do my best with it. Just enjoy what you can. Let's listen to another impromptu from Schubert's Opus 90.
Now, a couple of Beethoven sonatas, but by a couple I mean just excerpts from two Beethoven sonatas. Let's go back a few or quite a few decades ago when you were all students in school. And suppose you decided to take a music composition course. And somebody gave you a three-note theme to compose something on. It goes like this. Seems simple, doesn't it? What would you do with it? I have no idea what I would do with it, but we are going to enjoy what Beethoven did with it. He does most of it with the left hand, and it's really quite a pleasant theme. This is from his Sonata number 6 in F major. Another Beethoven piece I'm going to play is going to be in F minor. It will have nowhere near as light a tone as this, but let's enjoy this thing. Here we go. the theme that I will point out is kind of, I don't know, it goes like this. It's kind of fun from that standpoint. And there are two sections to this, and he covers the theme of both sections, unlike the first one that I played here, where the theme was in the second section. And the transition at the end of the first section is so pretty that I go back and repeat the first section, and then I play the second section. So again, there's a much larger piano concerto or sonata in front of this, but here we go.
wonder where these men, and there were a few women composers, by the way, but I wonder where these composers got their ideas from. And I so enjoyed the movie Amadeus. I don't know how many of you saw that, but in the movie Amadeus, Salieri gets angry at God because it seemed to him that Mozart was just taking dictation.
Well, if that's your view of how humans create music, then you take away from the skill, the talent, and the hard work of the musicians. I'm sure they had some inspiration, but they put it all together and made some lovely things. This is another of Schubert's impromptus. It has two main themes. I'll play both of them for you, just to tune you in. This first one is very easy to like. That's the first theme. And the second theme goes like this. And as a lot of musicians do, Schubert takes this theme, he works it through 8 iterations, or actually a theme in 7 iterations when we start. Just because that's how they did it. So here we go.